Hello guys, this is the SWTOR guy here, and welcome back to another Road to Money. This time we're gonna continue to the crafting wise, and I'm gonna talk about the Cybertech crafting. What is the best stuffs to learn, and what is the best way to get yourself a lot of credits thanks to crafting Cybertech stuffs. Now, what is the Cybertech need in terms of crew skills? Now let's check it out. The best way, I think, is scavenging and maybe underworld trading, but I decided to use slicing because the slicing has more potential. Like, even though if you're going around the world, basically you can get slicing and you can get yourself credits, because the slicing except if you're doing missions out of these, depends what missions you're doing. So the slight tech parts, then you definitely gonna get yourself credits. If you're doing different ones, then maybe you're not gonna get credits. But if you're going around the world, like for example getting these log boxes, then rest assured you're gonna get yourself money out of it. Now let's talk about the Cybertech crafting. So scavenging is, I think, for sure what you need for Cybertech, and slicing / underworld trading. But enough about that. What is the Cybertech can craft? Now, back in the day, like before you seeing this update, the Cybertech can crafted the following stuffs: earpiece, grenade, I think this gadget, like vehicles and such, mods, space stuffs, and strongholds and stuffs like that. But if we going and checking out the archive, back in the day there was a lot of mods in here and such. What is this one? An earpiece, yeah. A lot of earpieces. I think this can craft the implant. No, they cannot. Anyway, so they upgraded it pretty much, what I wanted to say, and now the scavenger can craft enhancements as well. Back in the day it was the artifice who can craft it, but now is the Cybertech. Now, what is the 2 or 3 main things what you actually can sell for good price? Obviously, the assembly components, which a lot of people can craft. The earpieces, the enhancements, and the mods, for sure. The grenades, not quite sure. But first, let's check out the assembly components. Even though I said it on the artifice one, this is, I think, one of the best ways to get yourself a lot of credits. As you might seeing it, I have a lot of these Chandlin and Plastiles. And I think around 1,000 of these Chandlins, so like whatever material called, so this plasteel, if you're checking it, how much is it worth on the GTN, it's actually 2.2 million for 1,000, which is incredibly big money. But maybe that is not the cheapest one. But I think it's around 1 million or 2 million for sure. Like, yeah, 2.2 million for 1,000. That is incredible. And as you see, one unit is 2,200. So that is an insane profit if you're a scavenger. But you can also sell the polished plasteel cybernetic components, but there's 2 different ones, I think. One is for the armstack, and one is for the armor mech, and one is for the Cybertech, so actually 3 of them, and 4 because of the biomech, whatever. So each one of the crew skills have one big potential, these component things. Now, the components, as you might see, it's not too much. Because the reason why, because not a lot of people crafting cybernetic stuffs or cybertech stuffs right now. Like 10 is 80k, like 15k. I mean, it's not much. And if you want to see how much you need for these for craft, I don't think it's too much. Like I can craft 12 knight now. As you might see, you only need 2 for each. The Bodnite Bronzium Dash, these are gonna go for really good price, but if you want to go for like big money, I think you need like sell the individual materials what you can get from the scavenging. That is much more worth it, the stuff. So if you're checking out how much stuff's like the Zal alloy, just so for example, if you're checking the Zal alloy, as you might see, there is not much around them, and 136k for 134 of these, it's not that bad. Like, even though you can just go around in any kind of planet and just gather these. Same goes for the aluminum and stuffs like that. So that is just a pretty decent price. Let's go for the big monies. The earpiece. Like, even though, as you might seeing it, I don't have any earpieces at all. The best thing I think you can sell is this one, the underworld metal. As you might see, you need underworld metal for this, but the slicing material is much different. I don't know if any of these worth. Yeah, the signal disruptor. If you're checking out how much is this worth on the GTN, one is 25k, and that is why I decided to go for slicing, because it's just a really good way to get yourself money, like 150k, and it's not even out on the Java vendors now. So the only way you can get it is to pretty much farm slicing. As you might see, 100 is 900k credits, which is incredibly much, like too much. But it's ridiculous how much it is. And if we go for like 1,000, is there 1,000 there? Nope. But you get to the point. But anyway, as you might seeing this, you can craft 46, 48, and 51 enhancements from receiving from the command crates or operation bosses or whatever. How much are these worth? Now, these are unfortunately not worth too much. Like, as you're seeing, is 700k. Like, this one is 1.9 million and stuffs like that. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a decent price. But before that, check out if the materials are worth it to get it. Like, you need 8 of the polished plasteel components. Like, if we just gonna calculate this, let's check it out. The polished one, so the cybernetic 10 one, as you're seeing, is 155k for 10 of them. Like, that is a little bit too much, and you need 8, so you pretty much got this one. So 150k, pretty much 15k for one. We have the refined isotope, which I think is worth around 20k, so that is not much for 2. The VMC, which we call it, so the void matter catalyst, is 400k each. So if you're buying 2 already, that is not worth to craft this enhancements. And I don't think this one is really a famous one, same as the efficient. The efficient is 1.1 million, but I think it's pretty useless enhancement. I don't think I learned anything else. Like, if I wanted to check the quick savant, for example, the 51, I believe that is worth something. Like, as you might see, this one worth 1.5 million credits, which is not that bad. So I think it's worth around the same. Like, even though you need this Hedrium, but this one is just nothing. Like, 6 of them is 12k, so pretty much nothing you need to pay for this. Pretty much like 40k. So if you have, for example, a spare like pretty much 1 million credits, because this one is 800k, this one is 150k pretty much, and the rest is also like 50k to 40k. So pretty much 1 million credits, you can get yourself pretty decent profit, like 500k profit, if you're selling the quick savant 51. The 48 is not even in there. The reason why, because there is like the 51 here, so why would anyone bother to get the 40 or the 46 one or stuff like that? I don't think it's worth it or worth to craft it. Like, even though you don't need too much materials for this, like for example, this one can craft it for like uh, I don't know, 100k, and also okay, you can sell it for 250. That is also a decent price for starter crafters, don't get me wrong. But if you want to go for the big money, then I assure you need to craft the right enhancements. And also, what is the right enhancements? What is the best ones you need to craft to get yourself credits? Now, first and foremost, there is like 4 or 5 which are really, really good. In DPS wise, the Adept, the Initiative, the 51, and the Quick Savant, the 3 of them I think are really, really good for DPS wise. The Quick Savant is also good for healing wise as well. And I think the Bulwark and the Vigilant are the 2 best tanking ones. Now, just in price check, let's check it out. How much is the Adept 51 worth? Even though I don't learn it, like, it's 1 million credits. Don't get me wrong, it's pretty much a same profit what you're getting as you buying all of these stuffs. But you can get like this one from operations, this one also from operations, and as you see, you only need probably 2 for these as well. But yeah, if you going into operations and receiving the isotope stabilizers or the void matters, then you are in pretty good style. Then you can get yourself pretty decent money out of this. The Initiative, I think this is one of the best ones. I'm not quite sure. 1.2 million. That is a really solid one as well. The Bulwark, I think that is worth also around 1 million credits. Oh no, 700k, that is not that good. And the Vigilant, which I don't think it's worth also too much. Oh, it maybe is. 1.9 million credits. So if you wanted to go for the best one, I know I think it's take a lot of time to sell the tanking enhancements. But rest assured, if you're selling it, you are getting pretty good money. Even though, for example, if it crits, then it's double your money. So that's pretty much like you wasted 1 million credits for all of these materials, and you're gonna get yourself almost 700k profit. If it crits, then you definitely receive 2.6, 2.7 million credits in no time. So that is not that bad. So enough about the enhancements. Let's go for the earpieces. The earpieces, I wasn't quite sure how to say it, but it is one of the most difficult things to craft and one of the most difficult things to learn, because you need to get, first of all, obviously level 70, but whatever. So you need to get your character the cybernetic character, or so your character needs to be a Cybertech, and also that character needs to get the schematics. So if one of the characters has it, and if it's not bind to legacy, then it's not gonna worth anything. And the problem with this, you're only getting the earpieces, I think, in operations, or if you buying it from command tokens and such. But then you need to go and get yourself the command tokens and such, and get yourself the token and stuff like that. So that is also why one of the most difficult things to sell. And I don't know the cost for this. For example, I think you need like 4 or stuff like that. But it is worth a lot of money. Like the MK4 Bulwark, it is, I think, the most requested one, and a lot of people just getting it. Also, when new updates are coming out, you can prepare yourself to getting the new gear. Also, you can craft those as well, so you can get yourself pretty easy money at the beginning. So I don't know too much about the earpieces, but I know they sell pretty good, but the materials are really high priced. So I'm not I'm not gonna say buy it, but rest assured it's gonna take a lot of money to spend. My suggestion for this, just when a new earpiece or gear is coming out, then definitely sell in that time period, because that in that time it's gonna worth like 4 or 5 million credits, and later on it's not gonna worth that much. Next one is gonna be the mods. Like, even though before I'm gonna go into the mods, the gadgets and stuffs like that are worth some credits, like, don't get me wrong, and you don't need too much stuffs for this. And even though there is no veteran archaeologist around, or even no veteran bioanalysis around, but, oh, because I'm searching for Earpiece, my apologies. So, as you seeing it, that is a lot of people who crafting this veteran. Like, as I said, there is no bioanalysis, but maybe, oops, maybe there is more archaeologists. Yeah, 600k. Like, don't get me wrong, these are pretty good prices, and you don't need to do anything else just to getting the different, like the artifice power crystals and the scavenger crystals, and also 8 gemstones, which I think worth pretty much money, because this one is really rare now. So even though you can get yourself pretty decent money, I suggest, like, wait for a couple of, like, wait for new ones, because in that time, if it's a new one, then immediately a lot of people wanted to get it. But this one's a lot of people not gonna get it, and a lot of people not want pretty much this archaeologist. But who knows, maybe I'm wrong for this one. The grenades, I don't want to talk about it because I'm not really at home for the grenades. Like, it's really useful, don't get me wrong, but I don't know how much these grenades worth. Like, really don't know. I mean, really don't know how much are these grenades worth. So I don't really want to talk about it. I know it's a really good price and stuff like that. I know that. If I wanted to search for grenade, if I can type, that is like pretty decent amount of. Oh my god! Like ricotta grenade. Those are legendary. So as you see, it's 712k for this one, or yeah, it's pretty decent money. Like 100 for this much, like wow. And I think I can craft that one as well, or maybe I didn't learn that one, but yeah, there it is. Ricotta seismic or V9, whatever. I didn't learn it, but who cares? As I said, I'm not really home with that. But the mods, definitely I am home with the mods. The mods are also pretty much goes same as the enhancements. Pretty much at the beginning you don't need, for the 46 ones, you don't need any of the void matter catalysts. So VMCs, I'm gonna call VMCs. So you don't need to, don't need any of those. So that's why it's worth pretty bad. Around how much? Around 174k credits. Like, don't get me wrong, that is also a decent price, but the 50 ones I think are gonna be the big ones, like 1 million again, which is a really good one. And I think the B one, the 51B, is much more, 1.3 million credits, which is really good. The 1.8, this one is not worth too much. This one is the reason why it's not worth 2 million, because not a lot of people are using this. But you need 2 catalysts again for this one, so VMCs, stuffs like that. Also, this mod, the lethal mod, is one of the best one. I think the deft mod is the other one, which worth really good price. If I wrote that. I don't know which mod is it called, but the other one, not the deft mod, but advanced mod. Warding mod is the tanking one. I mean, that is also really good price for 700k. Lethal mod is alright, as I said. There is no other else than, okay, I guess there is only the lethal mod now. So that is really good ones. But my suggestion for crafting wise, if you are a Cybertech, so I'm just gonna go get to the point. If there is a new gear coming out, then make sure you get the earpieces, enhancements, mods for your Cybertech, because at the beginning it's gonna cost a lot of credits, but you're gonna get yourself a lot of credits, because those free are gonna worth tons of credits at the beginning. But later now, if you're seeing it, my suggestion is just to sell the individual materials itself. Because this plasteel Cybertech stuff's like, if you craft 10 of them, that is all really, really good. Or craft 50 of them, you can sell it for like 500k. That is really, really cool. And don't really need too much stuffs for this, as you're seeing Channeling, plasteel, and flux. If you don't decide to go sell this, then sell the individual materials itself. Because if you, as I said, if you get going into operations, flashpoints, PvP, whatever, you will getting the stabilizer, VMCs, and whatever. And those stuffs, if you don't want to craft anything or any kind of stuffs which earn or worth to craft, then I suggest just to sell the individual materials. I'm gonna make also a video about which materials are really, really good priced, but it's gonna be later on a different video. This is just the Cybertech method. So if you really want to go into crafting, my suggestion is to go into these free ones: the assembly components, enhancements, mods, and that's it. So these are the free ones. The reason the gadget one is alright, but it takes a lot of time to sell the individual item, like the vehicles and such. The grenades are also alright, but you need to craft a lot of them to sell. Strongholds, we're gonna make it a different video. Space, not worth mentioning because it's nothing. And Earpiece is also, which is really good, but I suggest to getting it at the beginning. So that was it for the Cybertech or Cybertech crafting guide, or whatever one of you call it. This is my personal opinion, how I made myself rich also back in the day. Now I'm just used to crafting enhancements for this character, but it is also really, really worth profiting. Like when the new Gears R came out, I think I made around 30-40 million just for crafting the enhancements, and I think mods as well. But it was really, really cool. So that is my two biggest profit ever. I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did, smash the thumbs up, and I will see you guys on the next Road to Money. Bye bye.